Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome back to Rising World, episode 2 of the bunker base building. And yeah, we've got plenty of work to do. Now, one of the things I'm just realizing is that if I die, if I fell, took some damage, who knows what, I would not spawn here. I would spawn kind of far away. I flew around a bit looking for this location, so I probably should take care of that. Let's see, is it miscellaneous? No, where is it? Maybe if I just go here. I think I can actually just make it, come to think of it. We go into crafting, there we go. Small shelter, let's just do that. This little grass shelter. And get this put down. It's kind of cool, it can be hidden in the tall grass and everything. We're just going to stick this over behind these guys. Go, go, go. Something like this. Probably going to tear this out later once we make a bed or something down below in the bunker, but at least I can set this up. I can come sleep here. I think that's pretty much what I think that's required to respawn. Maybe just putting that down does it. I have no idea. But I think when night rolls around, I'm going to go ahead and crash in there so we can skip through the night and make sure that if I have some kind of accident, some kind of construction accident, that I will spawn right back here at our bunker. So what I need to do now is I need to start working on the materials for the floor, and I haven't yet decided what material to use. So let's look. I actually haven't looked at this stuff just yet. So we have, let me jump back out here. We've got all kinds of material. You can see the dirt. We've been doing a ton of digging, so we've got a ton of dirt. Some stone in there, but all of this counts when it comes to the stone block building, or even the metal. At least I think. Let's see, metal. Yeah, 903, so we're good. Now, this is kind of what I had in mind for the flooring, right? I'm not entirely sold on that, though. I do like the idea of kind of having this fully concrete box, so that's an idea. But I could do concrete walls and ceiling with this metal flooring. Now, what I like about this is it does have a distinct sound when you walk on it. In the previous world, I was actually experimenting with some of that stuff, so I was using this material for something else and thought, oh, that's cool. It's got a different sound to it. We also have all kinds of other plates and everything. It might be kind of cool to make up like a vent system and then use like this kind of material, because that's what this reminds me of, is kind of vent shafts or whatever. So that could be really cool at some point. I wouldn't have to run the whole length of the place with that, but I could put like a block inside each room or something, and then one could assume, one could imagine that there is ventilation going through all the rooms. Ventilation. So anyway, wrong one. Let's go back here. I think we are going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that. Metal. Let's look again. Yeah, this is the one I had in mind. It seems a little bit dark, but let's go ahead and do that. And we'll grab 903. Let's grab a bunch of this. I don't know, 45, probably good enough. And it looks like it's already handed us that. So what we have to do is determine if we're far enough down, where we want to put this floor. So I want to be able to stand in here, have a somewhat tall ceiling, but be able to pile dirt on the top. Another thing to consider is that I believe this room over here, the elevation kind of drops down one, so I need to have kind of extra room. I'm thinking that we do something like, maybe at this level? It could be at this level. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. Now, this is going to be somewhat buried. I'm going to have to dig this out a bit. We'll just go to the edge of where it runs out. So, there, you can hear the sound of walking on that. Okay, so let's stick with this. Oops, let's try left-clicking first. Let's get a panel of this stuff down. Something like that. So that's what we'd be looking at. I mentioned leaving the earth wall up, but not in this area, not in the main bunker area. So, but that's what it would look like coming this way. In fact, let's continue this just to see what that would look like. Something like this. I could even leave it with that little edge down there. That's kind of cool. It almost, it's kind of like this bridge or this path that's been set versus filling it entirely in. I think I might actually do that. I think we'll leave it and think about that a bit, but that is kind of cool. If you've ever been underground, there's some caves in Oregon that I've been to. I think they're called the Oregon Ice Caves, and they actually, they go down there and they put these platforms that you can walk on. It's very similar to this. So you're on a platform and there's this kind of edge. Usually there's railing, and so anyway, I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. One of the other things too is we could like dig out and put a light, like put lights underneath. That might be kind of sweet. So anyway, that's just an idea. I think that looks pretty good though. Yeah. Very cool. So let's go ahead and drag this off into another room. Let's go this way with it. Just go to there for now. So you can see we're going to have to dig this down even farther. Wasn't really measuring. I was like, a couple down into the stone, and that's probably good enough. Let's bring this in here. Okay. So there's our cross path. See, I kind of like that. I kind of like that there's a little edge. I mean, I guess we can kind of fall in there, but we actually don't get stuck. I continue walking, so that's okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. So we're going to have to go through, now that I've got the floor dragged in here, I can kind of see where it's going to be approximately. I can get to digging some more and make sure that we're lowered down. Let's go ahead and grab the pick, hit some of this up. Yeah, very cool. And that was the extent of the metal blocks I have, so I'm going to have to make a lot more than that. That was 45? Probably going to need quite a bit more. Alrighty, we have the sun starting to go down, but I've got the floor coming along pretty well. Now, the bunker didn't quite get squared out just right, but I do have the floor pretty much set up. So I'm going to have to dig some stuff out here, but you can get an idea for the size of the room here. I'm going to have to square up some of the walls. But again, we're going to close all of this in above. So the way the walls are inside, it doesn't really matter how I dig it out if it's really uneven or anything. We're going to do probably concrete walls up from these edges, so you won't see any of that. But although now that I say that, it might be kind of cool to leave some openings, like with glass that you see through to the earth. Might be kind of odd. But anyway, let's go ahead and follow the path here. I'm going to show you coming down. We've got the room straight ahead. I have not done yet. Now what I did was I actually counted the blocks once I had laid this room out. And it was 9. From here to the path right there was about 9. And then did the room around here. This should be about 7 by 7. So when I counted 9 this way, kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right there. This is where the room should start. And you can see we actually kind of miscalculated this from above. It's pretty open. So I could really start the floor back a couple blocks. I could start the room like here. And then it would just be a shorter step to the door this way than it is the other way. But I don't know if I want to do that. I like the idea of it being equal, but what that means is I am going to have to dig this wall away from us here a couple blocks probably, or at least enough to get 2 more blocks in. We're currently 7 wide, but we need to go 7 deep. So this is, whoops. So we have 2 there now. 3, 4... Come on, this way. No, it doesn't want to do it. No, probably because of the dirt. It'll go part way in, but not all the way through. But anyway, we need to go about 5 more in. So I think I'm going to do that, because I can come back in and fill with dirt in here a little bit if I wanted to. Or I could leave it and just say, hey, it's imperfect. You know, digging out, the mining is imperfect, but the flooring inside of it is. So anyway, that's probably what I'll do. I think we'll just go ahead and bust out enough space here to get the floor the way I want it. Don't fall down here. He's just sleeping up there. It's the wrong game. You're in the wrong game. Okay, we've just about got the last room done here with the floors. Just finish this last bit. Let's see. Did run out of materials. Now, previously I was thinking, oh, it's not letting me drag. And I always forget this. I don't know why I keep forgetting. But I was out of materials. I only had a few blocks left. And if you try to drag past it, it won't if you don't have the materials for it. So anyway, I'm going to keep forgetting that apparently. So this is the room on the end. So we're all set. We have all 3 kind of side rooms set up. Now, I was initially thinking, okay, each of these will have doors. That you can open, obviously, to get into the room. But I kind of like this being open. Like, doesn't that look cool? You look and there's a light inside there. It got dark in here, so I ended up putting that there. That'll be temporary. I don't have one in here because this one was already done. But and then we have the one on the end here. So I kind of like leaving that open. So we'll see. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do here. It might be kind of cool to run rails around these if I'm going to leave the wall as is. That might look kind of cool. But we'll have to see. You have to kind of individually place down railing. Eventually, they've talked about having, I forgot what they called it, blueprints or something. I think that's what they called it, where you could build some stuff out and then basically be able to select that as like one thing to build. So you could do basically, just to give you an example, a long set of blocks. And you could like save that. And then whenever you went to place that down, it would place all of those blocks like at once if you had the materials. So that would be pretty cool, if I am remembering correctly. I do play a lot of different games. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that was something about this game that was coming, or at least mentioned as a possible feature, I should say. They probably don't want to be promising anything right now, but anyway, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now, another thing I was kind of thinking about was that if I'm only going to do the floor like this, and only do a ceiling similar to it, that means the ceiling is going to be kind of have openings like this as well, just above. And I'm not sure that I'm super into that look. So I'm kind of back to debating whether I want to leave it this way for the floors. I'm going to have to think about that a bit. But I think what I'm going to do in the meantime is come back to this room and work on getting the walls in here. Now, I did do the floors all the way up to the edges here for the most part, and I'm trying to debate whether I'm going to actually put the wall right on top of the floor or actually build it alongside down here and build it up so we have as much room as possible. But for right now, let's go ahead and stick these guys here. Kind of dark in here. Cool. So again, this is kind of our main entrance. I think what we need to do next, though, is look at the concrete blocks and see what we want to do, what kind of material we want to use. Looks like I didn't actually finish the floor here. Oh man, I was hiding my shoddy craftsmanship. Like sweeping it under the rug, or under the wall in this case. But yeah, I think I'll get these in, and then let's go ahead and fly up and look at choosing our concrete essentially. Let's see, is it in favorites? I only just put this metal in favorites. Nope. You see the other favorites from the previous world there. Let's see, there's concrete plates and concrete. And I think there was one, I like that one, but there's also one that's kind of, it's in the plates. That's kind of cool too. Like, I like this one too. So I don't know about doing that for the walls. I don't like that this one's kind of tannish or brownish. And I don't like that because that doesn't really look like concrete to me. It looks like wood panels. So, and it's a little too plain. A little too plain. That was not bad. Let's go back here. Let's see. These are kind of gray. Not really into the pattern there. I think I kind of like this one. I know it looks kind of plain, but that's kind of what I'm going for. You know, this like bunker look where there was really no flash to it. They just said, this is concrete. We're pouring it. We're not doing anything fancy with it. Just put it down. So anyway, I kind of like this lighter material. I think we might do this. Now what we could do is I could just make, you can see we have 889 materials to work with. So I could just maybe make like 20 of these. And we can lay it down, see what it looks like, kind of decide if that's the route we want to go in. Let's try not to fall too hard in here. So what I'm thinking about is I can do this off to the side, something like this, and then build up from there. Now we're in the dark, so you can see that it makes it a little bit dark here because of the light. But yeah, I like that texture. That texture is pretty cool. Very straightforward, very plain, and I think that's going to be the way to go. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to have to make a whole lot of this stuff. 20 obviously doesn't get us very far. And the floors, wow, I went through a lot. And that's just the floors. Imagine if I were going and doing walls everywhere. But these walls are going to be tall. It's going to almost be like 4 of these floors. And I may just end up doing some stuff with these guys as well. What I could do with the roof is just fully enclose it, like from left to right side versus just the one down the middle. But I might also have to play around with that, kind of do it, and then see what that looks like. So anyway, I think for now I'm going to go up, make a whole lot more of this, and we'll kind of wall this room in and see what it looks like at that point. Cool, well I'm definitely liking the material here, and I've kind of thought about this a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I don't want this to go straight up. We're obviously just going to have a hatch, so there has to be some kind of domed enclosure here. It kind of needs to get narrower as it goes up. I mean, it could go all the way up into a flat ceiling with a hole in it, but I wasn't really into that idea. Some of this earth you can see is kind of sticking down. We got soil down in here. Kind of bust this away a little bit. But what I decided to do was make this stair material here. And I could have done just an angled piece, but it was the first one I came across. And I thought, you know what, I'll probably use stairs in other areas too, as actual stairs. So let me just use this as is. So here's what I'm thinking. I haven't tried this yet. It's just a concept. But yeah, I think we'll like angle it like this. And if we rotate this guy, do something like that. Cool. Get this in. I think I made enough. I did a stack of 64 of these to start. I'll stop short of this exit because I'm not really sure how that's going to work. So anyway, that's pretty cool. I like that. And then what I'm thinking about doing is just kind of continuing the floor above it. And what does we mean by that? I mean, let's see, how can I show you this? Oh, this is getting in the way. I'm flying all over the place. Line it up there. There we go. Something like this. There you go. Yeah. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I like that. And then we'll go probably one more up, and then do an angled again. Yeah, I think that's going to look pretty sweet. Let me do that really quick. Let's fly up here. Let's see. I do have this square block. Something like this. And let's see. 3. There we go. To there, is that right? No. Oh yeah, I did go to there. Cool. Okay. And then let's just do one more up here. Switch over. Whoops, wrong 2 button. Looks like I didn't even want to. There we go. And am I out? I must be out. This time I remembered. Got one more stack of 64. Definitely gonna have to make more of this stuff. Like that. There you go. Oh yeah, that looks very cool. So we're going to go ahead and do that around. Obviously, it's not going to continue to go all the way up. I guess I could if I wanted the bunker entrance to stick out of the ground a ways. I don't really want to do that. So anyway, the roof will be flat on top, but it's going to be a smaller area. Now, while I have the block, let me show you something else too. I thought it looked kind of cool. When I was laying out the wall in here, I had to do it along the edges, and I actually really liked this. Check this out. I really like that trim. And for those of you who watch me in these types of games, these building games, you know that I'm a big fan of trim. So there we go. Get that in there. And do this guy this way. Let's see. There we go. Cool. So let me switch to this guy. I wanted actually nothing in my hands. There we go. Cool. So we've got this kind of tall, narrow thing. We'll probably throw a door in there, and then the concrete as a trim I think is pretty sweet. So anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go fill all of this in for the flooring, and probably finish up going around the edges here. I may not do the roof just yet, but I'll probably bring the angles up there. So next time you're here, if you guys do come back, we will get a chance to take a look at that. So speaking of that, I hope you guys do come back. I do want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. I definitely appreciate it. And please, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. I would also appreciate that too. So anyway, we're going to leave it at that. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and we will catch you next time.